Yo, what's up you guys? It's Large Joseph, and welcome to my Personal Loadouts 2021. So as you know, it's been a tradition on this channel to do these kind of videos about once a year, every year. We've done this since 2017. Basically, this is just my loadouts. These are just different ideas, you know. I know a lot of gamers like to buy cosmetics and have a cool little loadout, so that way when you kill somebody and they look back at you, they were like, oh wow, that guy who killed me must be really epic. So anyways, that's basically what this is just about. So I'm going to go through all my loadouts, starting with Scout all the way till Spy. And without any further ado, let's go. So my first loadout this year, this is just kind of like a winter loadout for Scout. I just thought it was really cool looking. I like to have kind of like winter loadouts for a bunch of different characters every now and then. So yeah, kind of generic, but kind of cool looking at the same time. And also, I don't play a whole lot of Scout, so I'm totally okay with this. Moving on to B, this is kind of like a mafiosa Scout I put together. I think it looks pretty cool. Like, this looks like the kind of Scout that, like, you know, he'd kill one of your teammates and then he'd be like, what? You looking for the Pyro? Forget about it. I didn't see no Pyro. Neither did you. You know what I'm saying? Anyways. So moving on to C. This is like, I guess this would be like Big Joey if Big Joey never had a workout routine. You know, this is like Big Joey before he found the gym. Yeah. And then moving on to D. This is just a Scout loadout I made the other day. I like to, since this Scout has a helmet, I like to run this Scout as fast as I can into like a nearby wall and then press my kill bind. Alright, moving on to Soldier. So this is just like this pirate soldier that I've had for kind of year after year for a while. It's just one of my favorite loadouts I've ever put together, honestly. And so, you know, it's not broken, don't fix it. It's just a classic that I like to keep around. And also, for at least one class, have like a Beggar's Bazooka, because if you ever play a Beggar's Bazooka in MVM, it is just so fun at full upgrade. Anyways, moving on to B. This is like a really awesome samurai loadout. I think I saw this maybe originally. I saw Spiky Mikey put this together in a thumbnail. I thought it looked really good, and then I went and made it for myself. And I gotta say, this is one of my favorite loadouts to use for Soldier. This is, if you see me in game, this is probably the one I'll end up using. Moving on to C. I had to do it at least once, you guys. Halloween was awesome last year, and I've always wanted to have the taunt for Soldier, where he goes beep boop, maggot, but I didn't know how to do it. It turns out you just need all these cosmetics to get that taunt. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. And honestly, I kind of like the look of it, and I've just kept it since Halloween. It's pretty awesome. And moving on to D. This is just kind of an old classic I had made a while back, but I was just thinking back, and I was like, man, I like that loadout. I should go make that again. So, yeah, this is just kind of, I don't know, maybe kind of like a Winter Soldier look, but also just like a, I don't know, just a good look for Soldier. I like this one. Moving on to C. Pyro has some of the coolest cosmetics of any class in the game, and yeah, for Halloween we got some great ones. So this was an old loadout that I used to have, but it used to have, I believe, the Last Breath, and now that the Head of the Dead exists, I think this one, actually this one's not even a recent one, this is an older one, but still, I switched out the loadout for the Head of the Dead, and it's just got a better look, honestly, with this cosmetic. It's got like that Dia de los Muertos type look. And I think it's really cool. It's got like kind of like a Joker-esque smile with the extra paint added on. So, pretty cool look. I'm a fan of this one. B, now this was one of the new cosmetics. They added the Firefighter, and I think it made for like this really cool like Street Fighter type look for the Pyro. Kind of like a Street Fighter samurai look. So this is another favorite of mine for sure. Moving on to C. This is probably the one that you'll see me using in game. Either this one or D. Because this is just one of my hand-down favorites at this point. This is the most psychotic-looking Pyro loadout I've almost ever seen in the game, and that's pretty strong to say that, because Pyro has a lot of just absolutely demented-looking loadouts, but this is kind of like a Joker-esque, maybe Payday 2-esque type look, and when you mix this with, say, the Scorcher's Solo, this just looks absolutely psychotic when you see somebody, like, doing this in-game. So, anyways, moving on to D now. This is kind of like this, like, dark mage type look for the Pyro. And I really liked it. How do I make him stop? There we go, okay. Yeah, kind of like a dark mage sorcerer type look for the Pyro. It reminds me of something that you'd see in, like, a Final Fantasy game. And this was another one that, again, dropped during Halloween. I think it was just a great look. So, yeah, those are all my Pyro loadouts. I'm a big fan of how those turned out this year. Moving on to Demo, another class that I think has some of the best cosmetics in the game. Normally, for my first slot, I have a Demo Knight type loadout, and it's been the Pirate pretty much year after year, but this year I changed it up a little bit, switched it up for the bandana instead of the normal hat and the Toomba tunic. I think this is a pretty cool loadout, though. And, of course, you have to use the Nessie's 9-iron because of just the extra benefits it gives you, and also I'm not great at Demo Knight. Moving on to B, this is kind of just like a, I don't know, like a knight, kind of like a very, I don't know, offensive, brave type look for the demo, like a warrior type look, and I like it. I like the Bruce's bonnet. I just recently got that and threw this together. To see, this kind of looks like a Bomberman. Like, this looks like a demo man that would, like, set up a nuke in a room, and everything would blow up, and then he'd walk out somehow. Like, this is just, like, explosion-proof type, except his hands. I guess those would get blasted off. But, yeah, this kind of looks like an explosion-proof type setup here. And then moving on to D, of course, the Samurai. Again, this is another one of those loadouts where it's like, you know, if it's not broken, don't fix it. I did switch up the hat maybe this year, but that's pretty much about it. I love the Samurai look for demo. I think it's awesome. Okay, what a lot of you, of course, wanted to see here, my heavy loadouts. So, I have this Halloween loadout. It's one of my favorites. This is probably one of my favorite heavy loadouts I've ever put together. Unfortunately, you know, you can only pull this out on Halloween servers, community servers, or during Halloween time, but this is just such a cool look. This honestly reminds me of this ogre from Twilight Princess. Doesn't quite look like it, but it's really cool. Also, this skin that dropped, the Raving Dead, like, when I saw this, just screams Beetlejuice, and it's such a sick design. If I ever see, like, a factory new isotope version of one of these, I might have to figure out a way to buy it because it looks so good. And also, I got myself some professional Killstreak bread bites this year because, yeah, I don't know why I didn't ever buy these. They're spooky. When you wear them, they growl at you and make horrible noises. They're awesome. And also, I got some collector's items, and I'll talk about that in just a second. But anyways, moving on to B. So after this is pretty much all just Big Joey loadouts, but just different ones. So this is the one where if I'm on a map where I feel there's a lot of close quarters movement, I will switch to the stock. And for my stock minigun, I have Beetlejuice. I believe I had this since last year. It's a really cool gun. It's got the, I believe it's what is called leopard design or cheetah, but this is in the white and black paint. And then, yeah, I got donated some collector's items by Mr. Tangy Sauce. He gave me a lot of collector's items for the heavy. So now I have a collector's sandwich that I named the Horrid Hoagie. I put Mama Slaps, forgot to peel the crusties off this one. And then I have these hands because you finna catch them. Yeah, that's why I named them these hands, though. I love chasing down players. You know, everybody just expects the heavy to be this slow class that's just stuck, you know, and they can just run away easily. But when you chase after somebody, or when you get an Uber and you come at them just running with your hands ready, bro, it scares the hell out of players. Anyways, moving on to C. So I was donated my Dream Unusual, the White Russian Sunbeams. And this came from Derpy Dragon. I was very appreciative of this. It took him a while to get this for me, and I didn't ask him for it. It was just out of nowhere. He donated it. It was very generous of him. And yeah, it finally makes sense of Zeus's acrimony. It's like I finally have my Zeus loadout to actually use Zeus's acrimony, and it's awesome. I love using this in game. This does obviously catch a lot of attention. And finally on to D. This is just my regular Big Joey loadout. You know, I normally would wear the shorts, but I like to switch it up every now and then. I like to switch up to the combat slacks. I feel like it's more of a, I don't know, if I'm not being so goofy, I feel like the combat slacks is just a better look in general. And yeah, before I go, Zeus's acrimony now has 104,911 kills on it. We finally got over 100,000, I think, towards the end of last year. So very proud of my Tomislav. Moving on to Engineer. So this is kind of like, I guess, like a farmer type look for the Engineer. This is like a guy that owns property and land, like farmland, but also for some reason he's like a mad scientist, and also he can like build sentries and things. But if you need more of a visual to really see the farmer in this loadout, here you go. This brand new taunt that dropped towards the end of last year. Man, it just goes with it so well. Alright, moving on to B. Normally I have like this kind of more robotic engineer loadout, and I would use like the kind of the wires, and I forget what the name of the cosmetic was, but like the wires and stuff that would connect to the back of the head. But this year I figured why not just switch it up a little bit, add the 2 Fortnite, really make it look, you know, all that more robotic. And yeah, this is kind of like an offensive engineer that I like to use, like when I really want to like rush somebody and not be patient, which is what is required of an engineer. When I just want to rush people. Panic attack, kill streak capper, and of course the gunslinger. Moving on to C. This was just kind of a unique look. It's kind of like a detective look for the engineer, you know? I don't know why you'd have the Giger counter, but or the wrench. You know, this doesn't make sense to me. I just thought it looked cool. Moving on, and now we have D. Yeah, I'm just keeping this. Honestly, I'm just keeping this for a while. I know it's past Halloween, but this was just such a funny add-on that they put in the game around, I think this was around October, the pug mug. And now you can match that with the puggy back. You can have a pug on your back while you're a giant pug, while you also have a little bird on your shoulder named Ein. I don't know. This is just a really funny loadout to see in game, so I kept it. Moving on to Medic, another one of my least played classes, but nonetheless, I still put some pretty cool looks on it. I don't know. Is this like, I don't know, is this like an early colony member? Like I don't really know what you would call this, but I put it together and I'm like, yeah, you know, why not? Why not? B, now this is one of my actual favorites though. This is my Mr. Freeze loadout. This is like if you really need to see more of the visual of it, look at that. You can just almost hear this medic say in an Arnold Schwarzenegger voice, "Freeze in the hell, Batman." I just think it's a really cool look, and you can do the same thing for Spy. Give him like this kind of look, and then give him the Spicicle, so he can actually freeze people. It was just when I put this together, I was like, man, that's funny. C, I've had this loadout since last year, maybe even the year before, but it's just another classic. It's kind of like this Vampire Slayer type look for a medic. I think it's really creepy and morbid and cool looking, so I've kept it year after year. And then D, we got this new look for the medic, the Dapper Flatliner. Put it together, the Brain Bowl. Almost gives it like this Pyro look or like a Stormtrooper, especially when you put, of course, the Cold Front carapace with it. But yeah, no, I thought this made for a pretty cool look. And also kind of like hides your medic's face, which I think is pretty neat. Sniper. This is one of the creepiest looks I've ever seen in a sniper. I don't know like if I stumbled upon this on accident or what, but when I put this together, I was like, yo, that is so creepy. Like, if I got shot from halfway across the map and then this was looking back at me with this spiral gun and everything, it's so creepy. I mean, you can even take it a step further if you want and add that cosmetic that I just had on the medic, the Hypno Eyes, and then just actually put that to the Hypno look. And that's almost even creepier. So, yeah, when I put this together, I was like, yeah, that's the look. That's the look. I like that. It's so creepy. Moving on to B. This is another one I had from last year, but this just kind of looks like a, I don't know, like an upper-class style hunter. And he's going to kill you with his very expensive Machina. It's a cool look, though. I like it. C. Another winter look, just a winter sniper look, but I like it nonetheless. And, you know, I like having an excuse to pull out the Opera Hand. I think it's a really cool looking gun, even if it's just a reskin. This is just nice looking, just clean. And moving on to D, I finally got myself the Corona set. I finally got myself this this sniper set. Like, I've always wanted this ever since it came out, but, you know, as you guys know, this was a more rare hat to get, and also it is expensive if you're just trying to buy it, even on Community Market. But, yeah, I finally got this loadout together, and it looks great. Got the Aura Dominus. Somebody donated this to me. And also, I finally got myself a reskin of the Piss, which is basically this bread in a bottle. And one of my favorite parts about this is if you equip it in the item screen, it just completely does not work. It levitates behind the sniper, and it's so funny. Like, it's almost like, is this gonna be like this when I go in the game? Is there just gonna be like this like floating bread thing behind me? But no, it works in game. But man, is it funny to look at like that. Anyways, on to the last class, Spy. So I always have, pretty much every year, some sort of mafioso type look for my A class for Spy. I just think this is so awesome. I've always thought the Dapper disguise with the Bloodhound just looks so clean, and then from there, you can pretty much put multiple body cosmetics on it, and it'll still look good for the Spy. You could switch it to the Frenchman's Formal, whatever. This kind of actually looks more of like a Castlevania type look, I don't know. Anyways, moving on to B. Yo, so with the Halloween update dropping, I could pull out, you know, the haunted Shadowman shade. This looks awesome. Like, I've had like kind of like a voodoo style look for the spy before, but this looks even better. And I took the paint off my dead head. It was red before, and just brought it back, restored it, and this just looks so much better. And this looks so spooky. Like, don't tell me this wouldn't be one of the craziest spy loadouts you've seen if you got killed. Moving on to C, kind of this samurai look for the spy. Normally I would have had this with, I forget the name of it, but you know the one. Basically like that devil look. Yeah, the No Mercy, the devil mask for the spy. But this year, with the Handsome Devil dropping, the Handsome Devil just really outshined and outclassed that cosmetic, which happens from time to time with cosmetics. So, anyways, yeah, this is a better, cleaner looking version, in my opinion, of that samurai spy. And last but not least, we have one more mafioso type look. I don't know. This really gave me like Al Capone type vibes, and yeah, I just thought it looked really cool. Like, this looks like the spy that at any moment, you know, he could be in his office and he'd pull out his giant minigun and be like, "Say hello to my little friend," with the gold chain, you know, the chest hair. Just all of this just rolls together and looks really nice and really clean, especially with the big kill. The big kill is one of those custom weapons that just looks so awesome in the game. So yeah, you'd probably see me using either this one or B. Except I can't use the hat when I switch to B till Halloween again. But anyways, yeah, some also great loadouts for the spy. Well, anyways, guys, that about wraps up my loadouts already. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys get some ideas from this. And I'll have another video coming out very soon, so keep your eyes peeled. And until next time, later.